All right, what we're trying to accomplish with this thing, and really the objective is to allow a POAP badge holder to access private chat channels in a Discord server. And in the future, this could be extended to do other chat platforms like Telegram or Slack or something. And really the goals were to make it very easy for someone to set up new events and configure the sort of Discord server role configuration for an event. So we wanted to make that process very easy. And we also wanted to minimize the number of steps a user had to go through to verify their badge and gain access to the Discord channel. We also wanted to open source the verification side of it, because that way we can be transparent about what's going on and offer others to sort of extend it and contribute to it as we move forward. In terms of design principles and sort of the constraints we had, the first thing so BiddleHub we're very sensitive to people. We don't want to ever associate user credentials with a wallet address. And the reason is, we're in the US, and as a US company, we can be compelled legally to turn over information in some legal thing. So what we don't want to do is start storing like Discord credentials to a signature that proves that that person owns this wallet. Right now on BiddleHub, when somebody monitors an address, be it a wallet or whatever, there's sort of plausible deniability that they're just monitoring an address. Doesn't mean they actually own the address. But if they sign a key, like if they sign a nonce or something, well, now they own the address. So we're very sensitive to that. And Patricio brought up the fact that there is an option in Discord to use OAuth. Because what we wanted to do was make sure that we're assigning the roles after verifying a badge, that we're assigning the roles to the right Discord user, so that you just can't sort of willy-nilly say, yeah, assign it to my buddy or something like that. So we do need to know that it's an actual Discord user and that they're actually on the server, associated with the event. So one option was to use Discord or use OAuth, but the pros of doing that, if we went down that path, is that we could do some automation in the background. Like you could, if they decided to trade the NFT or the badge to one of their buddies, then we could take the role away. You could also do direct messages to the user if someone else creates a different Discord server for the same event. So there's some things that we could do if we had the OAuth credentials stored in BiddleHub, but the cons, I think, outweigh it, where that means we're storing those credentials, storing it kind of, we wouldn't necessarily need to store their wallet information, but if we're doing automations associated with on-chain activity, we would be making that distinction. So I wouldn't want to do that without the user's complete and explicit consent and awareness of what's going on. And then the other issue with doing things automatically is that there's no way to actually determine, at least we haven't figured it out yet, whether a Discord server being configured is the authentic server. Like, for example, I can go and create an ETH Denver 2020 Discord server. Am I the real one, or is ETH Global's the real one? So there's no way to really know. So basically that means that users would be invited to servers that may not actually be real. So we wanted to sort of avoid that whole situation. So that's why we opted not to use OAuth and instead function granting access directly from inside the Discord server. So it gives the user the option of to choose to join the server or not. And we'll see that during the demo. The other thing we wanted to make sure in the design is that, so there's the verification front source project in GitHub. And right now we wanted to make sure that the back end of that application that's actually doing the verification is swappable. So that if you wanted to change out and not use BiddleHub's service to do that, you can do that. You can create your own server and basically do the same thing that we're doing. But we wanted to make sure that that piece was flexible. And a couple other things, we didn't design this for mobile at all. But it's possible that we could do something in the future and use like Wallet Connect or something, and being able to sign a nonce to prove they own a wallet on a mobile device. So that's possible. It's just we didn't consider that for this particular run. The other thing is that we sort of treated this as an MVP, more or less a prototype. So some rough edges were okay. Some friction in the UX was somewhat acceptable, but we still wanted to make it fairly straightforward and easy to use. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to show you both sides of this whole setup. There's an administrator who has admin access to a Discord server, and they want to open up a channel on that server to some events participants. And we're going to use ETH Denver 2020 because the other side of the equation is a badge holder. That's the person that's actually going to go in and say, I own a badge associated with that event, and I want access to the private chat channel. So I have a badge for ETH Denver 2020, so we'll use that badge ID or that event ID during the setup. But basically, the admin is going to create an application in Discord, add a bot to the application, and then register that bot with BiddleHub. And BiddleHub is basically going to take care of all of the back-end logic associated with that bot. And then there will be an option to enable POAP event management in BiddleHub for that bot. And once that's done, we can create events and attach it to the bot so the bot knows sort of what it's managing. And then once that's set up, then I'll take over and I'll be the badge holder and I'll go on to the open source. So we basically took the GitHub project for the front end UI and we've hosted it on our servers. And so we'll jump over there and I'll use that interface to basically verify that I own the badge. And that will basically present me with the information on how to connect to the Discord server, along with a custom confirmation command that I would send to the bot, and the bot will take care of giving me access to the rooms. So before we jump in, are there any questions?
No questions.
Okay. So DeFi dude, if you want to share your screen and go over to, I guess I should give you some links, huh?
All right, sounds good. I started to share. Can you guys all see it?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Go to Discord app developers.
Oh wait, what is it? Discord app dot developers?
No, sorry, discordapp.com/developers. There you
go. Give me 1 sec. All right.
That's some fast typing, man. I thought I was fast. That's pretty fast. That's awesome.
All right.
Okay, we need to create an application and name it whatever you want.
I typoed it. Whoops. Okay.
All right. And then there should be, I don't see it on the, there's usually a little menu on the side. Maybe it's collapsed at the top, that hamburger icon. Yeah, there you go. Hit bot. And we're going to add a bot. It's going to say, are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Okay. And don't reveal the token. Just hit that copy button. And we're going to keep that around. Now, jump over to staging.biddlehub.com. And you'll want to log in with your... we didn't want to open this up to everyone yet, so we only allow it for the POAP admins. So if anyone else wants access, just let me know once you sign up with BiddleHub, and I'll change your user role. And
okay, I think I just made a new account, so you might have to re-authenticate me.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that right now. Select. Bear with me 1 second. Let's see. There you are. Okay, so update. Make sure that worked. There you are. Okay, good. Go ahead and refresh the screen just to make sure you got the right stuff. Okay, so now there's that little bot icon on the left on the sidebar. Yep, bot builder. Good. So go ahead and we're going to create a bot and just give it a name. There you go. And the type is Discord. And hit create. There we go. All right, so that thing you copied earlier, I don't know if it's still in your cat. Yeah, there you go. That's what it needs. It needs the token. So what this is going to do is basically create a bot that's going to act as the back end of this Discord bot. There's a little checkbox right there that says Add POAP Private Management. Go ahead and click that. Save that guy. Okay, now you can invite it to the Discord server. Go ahead and do that. So these are all the roles it needs. Yeah, I think Mike is still tweaking this because it's it seems like he wants to do everything, but it kind of needs to. All right. So like any other bot, we have to change, go back to your Discord server. And when you add a bot to a Discord server, if you go to roles, so go to the server's configuration.
I still haven't created the ones that are permission to a channel just because I wanted to show them during the demo quick. So
okay. The main thing is that the demo bot, he needs to be above the roles you're going to create. Otherwise, he won't be able to create them. Right? That's that whole hierarchy thing in Discord. All right.
So should I go ahead and
so now we're going
to...
Yep. All right, so this is basically going to limit access to a channel based on whether or not they have this role. So go ahead and do that. And then let's create a channel. Or you can add the role to one of an existing one, but yeah. There we go. Okay. Yeah, you are a power user. That's awesome. ETH Denver, no, it's ETH Denver attendee.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, 1 sec. And then I should disable view for everyone, right? Because only at Denver attendees.
Yeah, I think by yeah, you're right. Okay. And there you go. So now only people that have ETH Denver can see that channel, and admins, of course. All right, so now let's go over back to BiddleHub. Remember what you named that channel, by the way. You're going to need that.
Okay.
Now, there should be an add event button underneath that POAP events list. There you go. So use event ID 123 because that's the badge that I have. And then we need your Discord server invite link. And hopefully it's one that's not going to expire. All right. And there. And then the name of the role. So hit like add item. And then the name of the role, whatever you had there, ETH Denver, something or other. Okay. Go ahead and save that. All right. Now it's all set. Basically what we did is we said POAP event ID 123 is associated with a particular Discord server, and if the user has the badge for that event ID, give them the role ETH Denver attendee. That's what we've done so far. And now there's a bot listening in the room waiting for commands. So at this point, if you want to stop sharing, I'll pick it up and I'll go through the verification process. All right.
Any questions, someone so far? Superfish?
Can I ask a question, actually?
Yeah, go ahead.
My understanding of POAP is to get the on-chain information, right?
Yeah, that's exactly. Well, there's two things we're doing. We're reading on-chain to verify that the owner is in fact the owner of that badge. And once that takes place, we store a confirmation code. And then a second part of what we do is we have a bot that's waiting for commands to come from the Discord server. And the command we're going to give it is essentially the confirmation code. And as long as those two things match, then it grants the user the right roles. So there's two things we're doing.
How are you filtering per event? The reason I ask is because the POAP is gigantic contract, right? Like one contract dominates all the events. So I think it's the off-chain metadata information where you can find out which event this owner exists, this user has a POAP token for. So like
exactly.
So you can, you have POAP. But so I just wondering how you can filter out for each event.
Okay, so that's what I'm going to walk through right now. So this front end that we built, it actually talks to the POAP server as well as BiddleHub. The first thing it does, and that's what it's done here, is it used my wallet address, my MetaMask address, and went to POAP first and said, what badges does this wallet own? They retrieved those and they're displayed here. So now if I select a badge, I can verify that I own the badge before I can get access to any Discord channel that's been configured for that badge. So that's what I'm going to do. So what it's doing now is it's saying, hey, I need a signature from the wallet. So all it's doing is signing some UUID to prove that I own the wallet. Once I do that, now it's calling on chain to determine, does that wallet own the badge number 7964, it looks like. That's what it's doing. And if I do own that badge, in this case I do, it's saying, okay, you're good. Now you can join this server. And this is the role that's going to be granted to me. So I'm going to copy the command. And all it's saying is, I need to go back to the chat room in Discord and DM this bot named POAP Demo 1905. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to accept the invite. And now I'm going to try to find, here he is. So I'm going to send a message directly to the bot. Now BiddleHub is confirming that that code exists, and voila. Now if I go back to the main room, I should have access to the ETH Denver channel. Am I in the right place? POAP. Oh, Denver test, there it is. So there you go. We verified that I own the badge. The bot basically took care of assigning me the role, which now gave me access to the private channel. I'm not sure. Did that answer the question? Or
yeah. Does that mean the custom integration you have to? So it's similar to like it's kind of outside of the framework you already have. Like you said, like eventually you're gonna support for the normal any HTTP endpoint, but you said you don't have it yet. But for POAP this time you actually did it.
I'm not sure what you mean. HTTP endpoint?
So like basically you said you first went to POAP server to get the data.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that part is like a custom integration. You did it specifically for POAP. It's not part of the tool set you have right now, right?
Exactly. This front end that I showed you here, well, this interface is in the wrong spot. Yeah, this guy. So this is an open source project that we developed as part of this integration. Anyone can host this. You could actually run it local on your machine because it's just the front end, and it's wired right now to talk to POAP server to get the badge information, and then talk to BiddleHub to do the verification and bot confirmation stuff. But those two pieces are completely swappable. Somebody can go in and put their own implementation in there if they wanted to. But yeah, so I think that's what you're saying, is that the custom integration that we did was building that piece on the back end that does the verification in order to act as the back end to this front end. Yeah, that much is true.
Okay.
But it's pretty generic, so we could use it for other purposes as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions?
Yeah, so something quick on my end. If I'm a user coming to use this, are we going to be directing them to poapverification.biddlehub.com to get started? Is that sort of like the entry point to make this all work on their end?
I think Patricio is going to host it at chat.poap.xyz. Is that true, Patricio?
Oh, I got the domain name poap.chat.
Oh, there you go.
So my plan would be to have a very fancy, friendly landing page that says you have reached POAP chat. This is how it works. This is what's going to happen. Go on, start.
Nice. And I assume that they'll have to do this for each different event they have, right? So like if I have, say, the ETH Denver one and a DevCon one, I'd have to verify 2 separate times that I own those individual POAPs?
Yes.
Cool.
So something that has been expected is that some channels may allow different POAPs because, for example, in Denver, there were like 6 different POAPs for attendees, sponsors, volunteers. And if you were at the venue, you are allowed to get on the channel. So it's many to one. It's not one to many. If you have tokens that give you access to different channels, you will have to go over the process twice. But if you have, you can still access one channel with many tokens.
Awesome. Looks fantastic.
So I think this is pretty much it, right?
Yeah, I mean, that covers it all, I think.
Yeah, I think the next step for us would be to try to replicate this configuration process on Superfish Discord for the POAP testnet, for the Topaz testnet. The Topaz testnet has like 90 holders, so I think it's a nice size for a real live demo. What do you think, Superfish? Were you listening?
Yeah, that sounds great. So this is, other than knowledge of POAP, this is all very new to me. I'm not a Discord expert. I've picked up a lot of it, and I think it's something that we can definitely get integrated. I would want to involve Buddha, B-U-T-T-A. He's the user that maintains the Discord. And maybe I should have brought him in now. I didn't really know what to expect. But yeah, I'm definitely willing to move forward with it.
He can see the recording further on, and I'm sure Hunter is willing to help if he needs any assistance on the configuration process.
Can I ask one more question?
Mm-hmm.
Can I pass around tokens and for example, if I have one like East Denver badge and the 10 of my friends actually want to join the Discord server, then do I just sign in, give it to others, then they sign in, basically pass around, or do you have any check against uniqueness?
Yeah, so when that code is used, it's actually purged from the database. So it's a one-time use token.
Okay, that's good. So like
We were trying to abuse our system.
That's right.
so no one person can use. Sorry, no one token can be used more than once, basically.
That's right.
Okay.
I guess if something happened to your account, like it got compromised or something, you can still reach out to us, and there must be some administrative function for us to let the system know that something happened and we want to reset the state of that flag.
They could always go through the verification again and get a new code.
What happened if that person moved the token to a different wallet that also belongs to him?
Say that again?
If I get into a channel and everything's fine, but for a personal reasons, I have moved my token to a different wallet.
So right now, you're going to stay in the channel. That's what I was getting at earlier. If we had OAuth, then you could detect that you moved the badge and subsequently like notify them. But since there's actually, that wouldn't have mattered anyway, because if they moved it to a new wallet, then the POAP or the Discord ID would not be associated with that new wallet anyway. They'd have to go through the process all over again. But at least when they moved it, you would want to take away the privileges from the Discord user, since they no longer own the badge. But we can't do that right now without actually knowing who they are.
Yeah, I was asking just because of curiosity, because at this stage where we don't yet know if people are going to use this, I don't think it makes sense to spend resources on thinking on edge cases. We will see how this develops, and if we need more attack resistance, we will see how we get it done.
A question to Patricio. Are you going to make a new server for each event?
No.
How are you thinking about using, like if they do the Istember? So for this Istember example, who's hosting the server?
So this is a test. So we are just using POAP server, but let's think on the East Global Hack Money server. I think it's up to East Global to do their configuration, and the channel should be on their own server. Me as POAP, I don't have any interest on gatekeeping your ability to use this tool.
Yeah, so you just basically, it's up to the event organizer. If they want to have the token holder only chat channel, they set up their own Discord server. Then you basically help facilitating connecting the dot using the BidOHub.
That's it.
I see. So it's only good use for relatively good big organization, like if, I guess.
I didn't get you completely.
So it's for relatively some big event who wants to have, for example, kickback event. I don't expect like every meetup on the kickback will gonna create its own Discord server, but if some big event, they might do it, right?
For the smaller events, Kickback could have a single Discord server and just single channels for single events.
Can you assign this message to particular channel, then not to the server? One thing about like a Discord is like I think, can you actually invite to a specific channel? Because most of the time when I send the invite code, that's to the server, not to the channel.
Yes, I think you definitely can create an invite link that comes with a preloaded role that only gives access to some things. I guess we should ask to our black belt.
So, for example, then back to this global question, they do have a lot of events, right? They do like they might do East New York Hack Money. So in their case, they may not want to have a server for each event, or I don't know. Like, can you create like I have one server and each event I create a channel on Discord, and I invite you using this method.
Yeah, I think that's what Kickback should do. Kickback should have its own Discord and then a single channel for every event that wants to have its own channel.
Michael, so this invite you can send to the channel.
I think so.
The way I understand it, the invite will only take you to the server, but if you don't have permission to see the channel, it just won't show up in the list. You can actually set up a server so that a user can't see any channels at all, but they can still join the server.
You automate this video have things like I want to set up so like this token holder or this kickback events only get invites to this channel, so I can do that. Or does it? Where does it have to set up? I have to set up. No, yeah. Does
Right,
that make sense? Like I wasn't how you configure so that it's automatically invites to the specific channel.
The same invite link could be reused because it's only tied to the server itself. But then you could tune individual events to individual channels.
But where do I tune? Do I on the BidlHub or do I tune on the Discord?
A bit of both. So you would create the event specific role in Discord, and then you would jump over to BidlHub and associate that event specific role with the actual POAP event.
One-to-one mapping role and channel.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that.
Role, that role only have access to this specific channel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so as long as you have a tie-in for role to channel, then you can mimic the similar thing, but just for the each. Okay, makes sense.
Yep.
Cooper, is he here? Because I was thinking he probably want to use it for MetaClan, the game tournament, and then in his case, probably he doesn't want to set up the server for every time. So it might be good to have the setup for like a role channel association. Yeah, that's a good one. Thank you.
I mean, I think that's kind of the use case here, right? Is we have a server, but there's only going to be one specific channel within that server that we want people to have limited access to. So, we'll give them a badge for participating in something, and then after that contest ends, we can create a new channel and set up a bot to monitor the invites for that, solely based off their holdings.
Yeah, I think Discord lets you have up to 500 channels in a single server. So quite a lot of room.
All right. Any other questions?